2 year. And then if we do any other work where we've got Watkins gutters here, so if we replace your gutters whilst we're replacing your roof, things like that, we include a 1-year workmanship warranty in addition to whatever that particular company offers. We want to make sure that things are taken care of properly. Now, you know, we're in Florida and we know that crazy storms come through, so that workmanship warranty is covered. However, if there's more than a 60-mile-an-hour gales, a hailstorm, I'm trying to go off the top of my
head. From any storm damage,
Yeah.
it covers you from anything that we could have, if we didn't do something right, we'll come back and fix it for over the next 5 years. It doesn't matter when it goes wrong, if it's not discovered in the very beginning, if everything looks great, say, you know, you get down to 4 years later and you're like, oh, hey, we realize now we have a problem. You call me, we're gonna come back and fix it. I service all of the East Coast for warranty-wise for all the work we've done here in Florida, all the way through Orlando right now. We go back and fix stuff, it doesn't matter.
Now, like with Certainty, for instance, you were asking about algae. Certainty does offer a 10-year algae-resistant warranty. So keep in mind when you look at any of these warranties, and every manufacturer would probably hang me up in the front of this building if I said this, but I tell all my family, all my loved ones, I've been doing distribution for 20 years in roofing products. The warranty's only as good as the company that you're dealing with. The warranty's only as good as the fine print that you see. So the word you want to look for is prorated. When do they start to prorate that warranty? You want a manufacturer that's going to have the minimum amount of years before they start, or excuse me, the maximum amount of years before they start prorating your product. The other thing is, none of it matters. If there's a hurricane, a named storm, it doesn't matter if you paid $6,000 extra for a manufacturer's deal. Once there's a named storm, it's all out the door. Doesn't matter. So don't spend your life savings on the highest amount of anything that you can possibly get, because in Florida, as soon as there's a named storm,
a named storm
it
comes up.
Irma, anything, and it comes through your area.
Okay.
Oh, it's gotta come through, I was gonna say.
It's gotta come through your area. So back when Charlie came through down where I was, or some of the other ones we had.
Michael just went through.
Cut through.
Michael up in.
Yeah, some of them
Panhandle.
had entrances here and exit wounds out of the west coast of Florida.
Right.
But if any of those come through your area, it doesn't matter what you have for your warranty. Your manufacturer's like, nope, you got a named storm go through. So just remember that, and then that's just I live and die by that advice because it's the truth.
Is it residential, I mean, if it's the East Coast?
If it comes anywhere within your range and where you had any of those winds and it was a named storm, they will not honor your warranty.
So that's the biggest difference you were asking earlier about the differences in between the shingle manufacturers. That's the warranties are where in between that and the service on the warranties as well
So
too.
what's the warranty on
Uncertainty.
Well, it all depends. You can get up to, I think your basic is you've got your 130 mile an hour wind rating at a limited lifetime warranty. Notice my jacked up quotes. So that's your first section. You can pay more for an additional warranty. You can have additional stuff done to your roof with additional fasteners or additional ridge that's for higher winds to help them so they don't prorate it as long. More importantly, whatever roofing company that you're going to use, make sure don't get hung up on just the manufacturer's warranty. Think about what your local representation is going to be able to do for you and whatever their workmanship warranty is. And if they have a service program, which embarrassingly enough, I don't know if you guys have one. I'm assuming you do. You're nationwide. Every massive company has a service contract where they'll come out and inspect your roof, and then for X amount of money, you've got one call you can make, and then they make sure that you're whole again.
Don't currently offer that. We are working towards that.
Yes, sir. I don't know if you'll tell me this or not. What's the typical going rate for a square install?
$450. That's about the typical going rate. For a
Anywhere you're looking typically anywhere from in between that all the way up to
she runs the numbers.
5
Yeah.
to 550 even is as high as I've seen it.
Depends on the upgrades and things like
Depends on
that.
different variations, it's steep, if it's 2-story, if it's, you know, what all you have on it. Exactly.
Yeah, installing a roof on a house that's, you know, a 12-12, 11-12, like a church steeple, that's a lot more money.
Yeah.
The
So
ones
it
that are
varies.
easy to walk, you know,
Yeah.
as the pitch comes down, so does the price. Because it's easier to do.
If your roof doesn't have a lot of, if it's not cut up, if it doesn't have a lot of valleys, a lot of dormers, if it's easy accessible, where they can get stuff in and out, if my trucks can get in and out, you know, if it's new construction versus a re-roof in a neighborhood, 1 or 2
Yeah.
story pitch and cut up, those are the typical factors that would, you know, raise, you know, because if you talk to your neighbor and you're like, well, my neighbor got 550 or my neighbor got 350, why am I so much more? Well, if you have any of those deciding factors, those are one of the many reasons why you could.
Also, what's going back on your roof? This is your cheap pipe boom. That's your lead pipe boom, big difference in cost there. People that have like, real low bids on their house, you better make sure you're comparing apples to apples. What's going up there? I guarantee if they're cheap, it's gonna be this. You
Or
won't
if
see
it's not
this.
that, or if it's not that, it's something else.
Yeah.
You're giving up something when the price goes down. You're giving up some piece of your
Yeah.
roof, either
So-
in the quality of work that they're doing or in the quality of materials that they're putting on your roof.
In,
Yeah, you're giving up labor, materials, or both.
in addition to that, you may well be working with a company that is not providing workman's compensation to cover your subcontractors that are on your roof. If one of those workers falls off your roof now, it's your homeowner's insurance policy that has to pay their medical bills and whatnot.
That's why all of our laborers are W-2 employees of our company. I employ all of the workers on your roof.
She actually demands of those of us with the boots on the ground, and we send her a text message if everyone's standing there before they get on your roof, their name. What's your name? Put it in the text, it gets sent to her, so she knows
verify it
that
every morning.
all of them are the ones that we have on our roster. They're supposed to go on that roof. That they are our employees, because we have a guy he's got 40-something guys, and sometimes they mix, and, you know, Juan goes with Jose instead of Jose with Jose, and you don't see too many white guys on roofs no more.
The other thing to look for is, you know, there's a lot of roofing companies that will cut costs. The workman's comp insurance fraud in the state of Florida is massive. And if you've got somebody that's giving you a quote that's $3,000 cheaper than anybody else out there, I can guarantee you that it's not apples to apples and they're not legitimate. And the other thing to look for is people recycling your vents and your drip edge and not giving you new stuff that's on your roof. If you see the same stuff that looked banged up and dented going back on your roof, and they're keeping it in a nice neat pile somewhere, you know, so, and they're not just throwing it in the dumpster, they're not recycling it.
They put a fresh
They're
coat of paint on it.
they're putting it back on your roof because that's how you got that $2,000 or $3,000 cheaper. When my staff takes orders at a counter for contractors and they order a dry-in package, the dry-in package will have your drip edge, your felt paper or synthetic, all your vents, boots, and ventilation products. And we're told to ask for it. We're like, well, why don't you have those? Now, the contractors we know, either they have a warehouse where they pull that stuff out of, but we know, and you can easily tell, all right, well, yeah, they're not ordering new vents for this, and they're not ordering new vents for that. You know, it's just another way to cheapen the deal. No different, and I keep going back to cars. You know, you can have authentic parts, you can have reworked parts, uncertified parts, same thing can go on with the roof. But you don't want the stuff when you buy a new roof, you want a new roof. So just be aware of that.
So flashing, is that stuff that goes along the edge?
Yes, ma'am.
Drip edge?
That's drip edge.
Correct. What happens when your roof meets a wall? A lot of times you'll turn around and you have the flashing will be like, this will be behind the wall or behind stucco. And you have this flashing sticking out from the bottom. We don't tear that out of your wall, that stays there. We'll put ice and water over the top of that to add to the protection against that wall, because it is a problem area. And it's a piece of ice and water running that edge. Anytime you notice any problem areas, you guys here in Florida with these stringent designs, homes here in the villages, your front doorways where you got valleys meeting the wall and then coming down to the gutter, we ice and water that whole area, because that just screams problem area. And last thing we want to do is be called saying my roof is leaking. So for a very little cost on our part, we're just adding that extra protection, and we'll point it out to you when we're doing your roof. Listen, we put more ice and water over here. Why don't we put it here? Because this is a problem area for you. So I'm sure some of you in here have one of those homes with that weird design.
Well, one of the questions too, when you're thinking warranty wise too, is, you know, when you're calling someone because you have a leak, are they gonna answer your phone call? Are you gonna go to an answering machine? How long is it gonna take them to call you back? The office phones in our office are transferred to my cell phone normally. Jim actually has them right now. We answer our phones 24/7. So if you call me at 11 p.m. at night and say, hey, my roof's leaking, I'm answering your phone call. Unless I am asleep, sometimes I don't hear my phone. But I do. Usually around 10, but I do answer I usually hear it and I'll wake up. But I do take all of the phone calls personally myself, and I do respond to them. Now, there's nothing I can do at 11 p.m. at night that your roof is leaking, but I can get people lined up to be out there in the mornings.
Anybody else, any more questions? No? Was it pretty thorough?
Excellent.
We thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
And again, those of you that
And
want
we
your
have a
roof
drawing too,
inspected.
didn't you?
What?
Drawing.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the drawing.
Before we get to that, I just want to point out, so the sheet that's got the protect yourself, fight back, those links are to reputable sites where you can go and read reviews and see what people are saying about the different contractors, not just roofing, but any kind of contractor. You can also use those same links to go and file complaints and things like that and reviews against any bad experiences that you've had. So to your point, gentlemen, that was talking about the contractor that started at $25,000 and then was at $12,000 before he left. That would be something that I would suggest you write a review so other people know not to even bother bringing them out here. I mean, that's certainly up to you, but that's how you're going to help each other. And I know from working here last year, the villages, you all do like to communicate with one another. You've got different groups that you get together and talk about these things. So that's fantastic. That's the way you protect yourselves. And then the Seniors versus Crimes, Brian's the office manager out at the Sumter County, but you got 4 offices here locally. They're volunteers, but they don't charge anything. So if you have had situations where you've been taken advantage of in the past, their contact information is in there. It's a civil matter, is what they were explaining to me. So a lot of the times you're not able to necessarily press charges through the police department, but they can help you walk through those steps of how do you go about trying to recover some of that money, and what are the things that are out there and available for you to do. So I just wanted to make sure to point it out. If you do want me to email you a copy of those links so it's easier for you, just write on the bottom of that inspection request with your email address that you'd like me to email it, and I'll make sure that that gets out to you probably by Monday. Okay?
Now you just click on the link and not have to type it, because he made it about this big. I have a hard time reading it. I said, John, I can't even read that. My cheaters, I'm getting there. So your first, you guys get the little tickets, those little blue tickets. They're pulling a ticket for Subway.
Subway, last 4 numbers, 2159. All right.
There you go. Woo!
Yeah.
Wrong seminar.
Yeah.
You have to go back to his house with the timeshare guy.
Next one is for Starbucks. Everyone likes coffee.
Last 4 numbers, 2155.
Hey!
And the last one, the bigger one, is a Visa. $30.
Ooh.
$30 is $30. And the Visa winner is
Jim's putting another 50 in for whoever signs the room.
Big winner, big winner.
Big winner. Last 4 digits, 2160.
Are you kidding? She didn't pay us off, we promise. Congratulations. Thank you all for coming. We're here to answer any individual questions as well.